I wanted to talk about 3 guys in the bubble for the NBA that who would you invest in if given the choice of these 3 players? And because we were talking about it off air, so between Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Devin Booker, I want to know if you had, and let's just say money's not an issue, but you want to get a card that you think is going to be a long-term investment. Which of those 3 guys are you going to invest in? And let's see, Rad. Let's hear your take. I know you have a partial heart for one of the guys.
I have a big partial. I'm going Damian Lillard all day. And those that break with us know that was going to be my answer regardless. The only thing I would say that holds Dame back, and I do think the Portland Trailblazers, when healthy, are a legit scary team. You know what I mean, in the Western Conference. But the only thing that could possibly hold him back is the fact that he's such a loyal person. He's from obviously he grew up in Oakland. His story is a great one where he went to a college that nobody even heard of. Got drafted pretty high, right? So he's a very loyal person, and him staying with Portland long term may potentially hurt the ceiling of his value. But the way that he's playing, man, it's pretty amazing.
That 3 where he took it from, and then it bounced straight up and went in, and then the net didn't even move. It was ridiculous. I can't even believe he had the cojones to shoot that. Let's hear your second and third. So we know Dame's your 1. So who are you doing 2 and 3 then out of those 3?
Dame's always gonna be my number 1. Slight edge to Jason Tatum. Slight edge. Devin Booker has proven he can be, the number 1 option. Great scorer. Obviously, had a 70-point game. Was it last season or 2 years ago? And shown that he can play some defense now too. But Tatum, when you just look at his physical attributes, he seems like he's more fitted to maybe have a more, I would say, maybe winning career where his hobby value can go up because he's plays both ends of the floor.
Yep,
efficiently. So,
what do you think, Dan?
Well, I'm gonna go into the chat here, and I thought Aaron would know this. So it is Dear John, but the John Deere reference comes from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
So I was referencing Dumb and Dumber when they're in the hot tub together, and he's like, she wrote me a John Deere letter.
Yes.
Yes, it is a Dear John, but I was playing up on the Dumb and Dumber, so I call it a John Deere letter.
Which is the greatest comedy of all time.
It is absolutely the greatest comedy of all time. So, absolutely agree with C-Rad with Damian Lillard. I think he is, dude, it's so hot in here. I don't even know how you get a mask. Dude, I am sweating.
I got a sweater on too.
You got a hat, sweater.
You trying to lose some weight?
Woo! Damian Lillard, maybe one of the most dynamic players in the league right now. And what if he played for the Lakers or
his value would be triple right now.
The Knicks or just a large market team. I think he gets lost in the shuffle, not only because he's in the Western Conference with all the great teams and the great players, but just on the Blazers. And the Blazers are a good team. They need to put some guys around Damian Lillard to go up to that next level. Next one was Tatum.
Yep. That's your second?
That's my second.
And then Booker.
Booker, I think he's one of those guys. He's a great player, volume shooter.
He's got the best hair out of the 3.
He's gonna score.
Always has that little side.
And I'm gonna get bashed for this, but he kind of reminds me of a Monte Ellis in his prime.
Ooh.
Where Monte Ellis would put up a crap ton of points, but it was because the ball was in his hands every time down the court.
Or you could say Kevin Love on the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I mean, Monte Ellis.
They would lose 60 games and he would have 40
But Monte
points.
Ellis he'd score 30 points a game, day in, day out. But the Warriors would lose every game. Suns are definitely better than the Warriors had one. The Warriors had one good year. They had the We Believe, but besides that, it was slim.
Well, I think I'm going to go Tatum because I like the market that he's in. I like the talent around Tatum. I think they're still on the rise. They may not do it this year, but they are built for long term. And I like that he's and I'm not saying the other guys aren't, but I like the way he's a student of the game more, where he's out there trying to improve in his game. He's working. You can see his YouTube videos where he's working in the offseason, playing against Embiid and stuff like that. And once again, I know the other guys are probably doing close to the same, but his fadeaway is amazing. And the fact that he's on the Celtics, from an investment standpoint, I like Tatum better. But it's really hard to go against Lillard because of that year. It was 12-13. There really wasn't as many.
Good point.
There really wasn't as many cards made back then compared to the 17-18 season and even compared to the 14-15 season. And one thing to keep in mind about Dame Lillard is that for the first three quarters of the whole first season he was a Leaf exclusive for autographs. So he doesn't have a lot of autographs. They kind of caught up at the end, and they had him sign stuff, and Leaf must have sold to Panini, and then you had that redemption program for Damian Lillard where they were making his gold standard because they missed it, and they were making his crown silhouette, but those were sticker autos. I believe the only auto that's on card for Damian Lillard rookie year is the flawless base auto, not a patch. It's the only one. I think there's only like 10 of them. So that would be the reason for me to switch the scales. But for talent level wise, I think Tatum's in it for long term. And my third would be Booker. So, but I also have love for that guy. I was telling C-Brad through text yesterday, I have love for that 12-13 Prism, and I also have love for just that 12-13 season in design wise. It was a double rookie class.
Did we all just agree?
No, I said Tatum.
You said Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum number one.
And because I just like the Celtics are a bigger market team, and they're built for success,
dude. You're telling me that like if you were building a team, you would rather put Jason Tatum on your team than Damian Lillard?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if I'm looking at an investment, I'd rather have a guy on the Celtics than the Blazers.
Okay, well, I get that, but.
And I do love that 17-18 design. You got Lonzo, you got De'Aaron Fox, you got Donovan Mitchell as well, and that design. I love that design for the Prism that year. And I don't know. The Celtics. It's that you've got the arena, you got Larry Bird, you got the history, you got all those championships. It's all they're almost like hand in hand with the Red Sox, maybe even closer to the Yankees for basketball.
But you look at the Celtics though, like if Tatum has a bad game, they could still win.
Yeah.
If Lillard has a bad game, the Blazers are losing. Lillard is definitely more valuable to his team than Tatum is valuable to the Celtics.
Granted, at this point in their careers, though, Dame is the grizzled veteran. So, let me ask you a question, Doug. So, if Dame was on the Celtics, would you pick Damian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it really comes down to the market, which does impact a lot when it comes to value of cards.
Yeah. When we talk about the hobby, that's one thing you guys got to keep in mind always. The market.
We talk about it all the time, but then you look at teams like the Rays with Wander Franco.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, smaller market team, cards don't sell for as much. Before this year, Pelicans.
Yep.
Pelicans,
exactly.
They never really had a rookie that did well
before
on the market.
Yeah,
then you have Zion.
You could say AD a little bit
you
too.
You could say the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
Jaren Jackson was a top pick, and his cards weren't going through the roof.
Not like Luka, yeah.
Not like Ja.
Breaking clout chasing ... starring D&D. I don't know what that means. Am I missing something?
Well, I was saying in the segment with Dirk Diggler that you were clout chasing.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't have sound on. I remember saying it.
No, I was the one who was saying it. I said that you're the clout chaser. Like when it comes to Mojobreak, you're the clout chaser.
Yeah. All three of those guys are ultra talented though, and either all three of them are right now. The way the market is going, like you can't really go wrong with either three right now. It's like whoever you like the most. Obviously I stand by my Oakland guys, so I'll go with Damian. But they're all very close talent wise, and Booker and Tatum are obviously all way younger than Damian is, so they have a few years to catch up to Damian.
Yeah, and if you were to say who would I rather, like if with 5 seconds left in the game, who would out of those three? No doubt it would be Damian.
Yeah, it's always Lillard.
Who would I want the ball in the hands at the 3-point line? That would be Lillard. But I just, and I know he's loyal, but the Blazers. I feel like they're wasting his prime. I know McCollum's good, and you got Nurkic who's been hurt and stuff like that. But
Portland. The reason why they're fighting for a playoff spot now is not because they don't have talent right now. They actually put a really good team around Damian this year. It's just they haven't been able to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Well,
Health is a huge issue for them.
The issue with the Blazers, though,
they went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
The last like 4 or 5 years, though, they like haven't had. They've always been that 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th spot. So they're not doing bad enough to get a top lottery pick.
Yes.
So they're not getting that guy that they can put in with Dame, who's young, who can basically put them to that next level.
Yeah, who's been there?
They're just not. They're good. They're not good enough, but they're also not bad enough to get a really good draft.
Who have they gotten? Like Anthony Simons. Over the last 3 years, where they've gotten Anthony Simons.
Gary Trent is a breakout player for them right now too.
Yeah, Gary Trent, I guess, wasn't bad, but we're talking. Yeah, you're talking about what 15 and up, right, on their picks. Right?
I want to say that the Blazers have been because they've been nearly good enough, but they've been unfortunate to be playing in the Warriors dynasty era. So, I feel like especially this year's team, if you look at them and their makeup, they have what it takes. They just have to stay healthy. So that's why all day, like ESPN yesterday, all this past week, they talk about how the Lakers might be a little bit scared of Portland to have to face them in the first round if they're completely healthy.
Dude, how mad would the NBA? And I know we're running short on time. How mad would the NBA be if the Lakers got swept by the Blazers? And then for one, there was less games with the Blazers in the bubble. With the Lakers in the bubble, their King James is out in the first round.
Yeah, we said it last year, right? The playoffs felt weird without LeBron James. This year, as Warriors fans, we feel it. We're like, dude, it's weird the Warriors not being in the playoffs. Steph Curry not being in the playoffs.
It also feels like this season's been like 2 years, 2 years long.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this season's like never ending, even though we did have about 3, almost 4 months without any basketball. But it feels like this season. And it being a Warrior fan, it's just like the never-ending crappy season that just won't go away.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready for next year. And who knows? Like, I heard rumors that they may not start next year's season until March.
Yeah,
to give the guys enough time in between. Well, that's the whole weird thing with me is, our fantasy football drafts is like, what do you mean football starting? Like, this doesn't feel right. This whole year, obviously, this whole year is weird, but like. My kid's going back to school. Like, wait, we're not ready for that. We're basically we got baseball in the middle of the season. You got the whole calendar is screwed up in my head because of all the events, all the pushbacks, all that stuff. But that is it for the show. Make sure you subscribe here at Mojobreak, our main channel for breaking, and also subscribe on Mojobreak Media channel. Follow us on Twitter at Mojobreak_com and enter in on that Topps Chrome giveaway. If you just joined in and what Topps Chrome giveaway? We're giving away a box of Topps Chrome Hobby. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find out how to enter in. We talked about it in the Chrome segments on how you could enter in to win.